Road 96 is the first game I selected to play in the 1 through 10 difficulty challenge, where I'll be playing games of increasing difficulties from 1 to 10 based on online guides until I finish all 10 games. Selecting the right game to play for each difficulty is a challenge of its own though. Some key things to look for are that each game is the right difficulty, the games are a good length, they don't have any unobtainable trophies, and that they don't have DLCs I'll want to finish in the future, ruining the 1 through 10 order on my trophy list. The 1 out of 10 difficulty was particularly hard to pick for, because I wanted to play respectful games throughout this challenge, and the 1 out of 10 difficulty is full of really short games and shovelware titles. But after doing some searching, I found the perfect game to start with, Road 96. Road 96 is a 1 out of 10 difficulty and takes an estimated 8 hours to earn the Platinum Trophy in. Road 96 takes place in the 80s in a figurative country that is almost definitely based on Iran, where teenagers try to make it across the border to escape their oppressive government. Making it there isn't simple though. The government is rounding up attempted escapees and throwing them in jail, or worse. To make it there, teens will have to make friends, scrounge up whatever money they can find, and hope for the best. The game puts us in the shoes of one teen at a time, with a randomized starting distance from the border, and amount of money to our name. It takes around an hour to reach the border, and we'll have to do it multiple times for the 100%. What's really cool about this game is after a couple runs, you really get to see how your previous runs affect the world you're in. Possibly hearing NPCs talk about things your past characters have done, and changing the way they might act towards you. Road 96 has a pretty small trophy list, consisting of 11 gold trophies plus 1 platinum trophy. Half of the trophies are missable, but missing one in this game isn't too bad of how short the runs are. To earn all the trophies, we would have to stay diligent to not forego any missables, gather a few collectibles, and get 16s to the border across different runs. Trophies in this game are semi-random, as they will always be in the same area of the game, but the area your character will be in is influenced by the choices you make and some randomness. The first area of the game I would reach with trophies to earn in it was the trailer park, which I reached almost immediately on my first run. There were 3 trophies to earn in this area. The first was the cat person trophy, which I was able to earn by petting this cat after learning what I could from this NPC. After petting the cat and talking to the NPC, I continued working my way around the park, gathering information from NPCs, and collecting any money or snacks I could find to give myself more options on where to go next and increase my chances of successfully crossing the border. This is where I earned my next trophy for meeting Zoe for the first time. Zoe is arguably the main character of the game, even though you don't play as her. We would be crossing paths with her on multiple other runs, and she has a few trophies tied to her as well. One of those trophies tied to Zoe is the third one in the trailer park area, a light in the darkness, earned by blowing on the campfire during our conversation with Zoe. And I can see why I missed this one, because damn, the campfire wasn't the only fiery hot red thing here. And before I get any hate, yes, I did check, she is 18. But anyways, moving on to the third trophy that I actually did earn, Homesick. And I actually got this and the fourth trophy I earned, Campaign Thunder, within a minute, because all I needed was a phone. And after leaving the trailer park, I arrived at a diner, where I did the usual snooping around, collecting any snack and money laying around, while talking to all the NPCs. After I finished with that, I made my way to the phone, calling home for the Homesick trophy, and a campaign phone number I found on a poster earlier. After those 2 calls, I made a third call for a taxi, and left the diner. The taxi helped me cover a lot of ground, and eventually I had made it to Road 96, which was the last road before you reach the border. You still technically haven't escaped once you reach this point though, as crossing the border is a large challenge of its own, which there's multiple ways of doing. I didn't earn any situational RNG trophies on my second run, other than getting my second out of 16s to the border. But on my third run, I ran into a familiar face again, Zoe. Cops had arrested her and were stopped at a gas station I came across. Naturally, the knight in shining armor had to rescue his princess, so I distracted the cops and stole the handcuff keys from them to free Zoe. Hopefully that would teach them the lesson that if anyone was going to put her in handcuffs, it was going to be me. After unfortunately parting ways with Zoe, I eventually made it to the border on my third run, and there was this little stone stacking cairn at the border I'd stacked rocks on at the end of my other 2 runs, and after doing the same this time, I popped the stone after stone trophy for stacking my 3rd rock on it. My 4th run didn't earn any more situational trophies, but at the end of my 5th run, I had an opportunity for one all the way at the border, where I had to decide to try to help Zoe escape or abandon her and leave on my own. And if you guys have been paying any attention so far, you can probably guess which option I chose. On my 6th run, I finally got 2 trophies I'd been working towards this whole time, that were really the only tedious trophies in this entire game. I got Collect 'em All first, which was earned by completing the music tape collectible strand. In total, there's 18 tapes you need to get for this trophy out of the 33 tapes in the game. The tapes are spread across many different areas of the game, with some requiring specific dialogue to be earned, and others being purchasable from vendors. This made the game a little guide-heavy, but after getting my 18th tape, I got the trophy. The other trophy I was working on was Old Pro, and in my 6th run, I got it because I had now reached the border for the 6th time. It was now time to go back and clean up the trophy I missed, A Light in the Darkness, for blowing on the campfire while talking with Zoe at the trailer park. This was actually a very common trophy people missed, as the campfire is out of view if you're not looking right at it, and the prompt is only up for a few seconds. Other people were also probably distracted, just like me in the scene, but after locking in, I popped the trophy, which finished the game for me, earning me the Bordermaster Platinum Trophy with a breathtaking view. If I had to rate Road 96 based on how good I thought the game was, and how fun the Platinum was to earn, this is what I would say. I think the visuals in this game are very good and interesting to look at, and it has actually a really good story to it with a unique way of telling it. Also, the game type was very interesting, having you do multiple runs and kind of scrounge for resources, and also it didn't overstay its welcome. However, a negative you could argue is that there isn't a ton of actual gameplay to this game. You're basically just picking dialogue options the whole time, but it does kind of help you get more into the world by learning all the characters. Overall, the game, I'd probably rate a 7. And if we were going to rate the Platinum, I would say this game's obviously short, not overstaying its welcome, just like the point I made for the game itself, with it taking about 8 hours to complete. And it's not too difficult, there's really no hard trophies in this game. Also, the list is very compact, with there just being 11 trophies in the plat and them all being golds. Some negatives would be that it's a little guide heavy at first, to make sure you hit your situational trophies and gather the 18 cassette tapes you need, and there is some RNG based on what area you're in the game. But it was a pretty stress-free, enjoyable platinum to earn. I think I would give it a 8.5 out of 10. This game was a great start to my 1 through 10 difficulty challenge, and I was actually able to beat the whole game in one sitting in about 6.5 hours, beating the guide's estimate of 8 hours by an hour and a half. With the Platinum Trophy being earned in Road 96, my 1 out of 10 in the 1 through 10 difficulty challenge has been completed. And this game is exactly why I wanted to do this challenge, to discover hidden gems like this that I would not have played otherwise. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the 2 out of 10 in my 1 through 10 difficulty challenge that I'll be uploading next week. Let me know what you thought of this video, and as always, thanks for watching.